Hello and welcome to day 9 of our Home for the Holidays practice, where today we'll be focusing on the hips. We'll begin in a comfortable seat and then we will bring the soles of the feet together, keeping the knees bent. And the soles of the feet can be a little bit further away from the body, coming into a diamond shape with the legs, or a little bit closer towards the body, and then you'll feel the stretch into the hips. We are going to keep the spine nice and straight, and then we are going to begin to fold forwards over the hips, coming into our butterfly pose. And the hands can rest on the ground or they can stay together, bound around the feet. It's entirely up to you. Taking some nice deep breaths here. You might want to prop yourself up on a cushion or a block, especially if the pelvis is tilting backwards. And on the next inhale, we're just going to pull the feet in closer towards the body. If this doesn't feel great, you can keep the feet where they were before. This is just to deepen into the stretch into the hips. Taking another round of breath here. And release hold of the feet and start to straighten the back again, stretching the legs out, bringing the hands behind the body, bending the knees, planting the feet, and begin to drop the legs over from one side to the other, taking a few windshield wipers. Just releasing the hips here. And then come onto the knees, and you might want to place a folded blanket underneath the knees, bending the knees, keeping them about hip width distance apart. We're going to point the hands towards the body and plant them behind the body, then lift up the hips and the chest. And if you have a healthy neck, you can drop the head back into space, feeling a stretch down the front side of the body, in the quads, the front of the thighs, all the way up to the neck if the head is dropped back. And we'll be holding this pose for a few more seconds, so just take some nice deep breaths. This is our floor version of camel. And begin to drop the chin and slowly drop the bum back down to the heels, coming through to a comfortable seat. Taking a few rounds of breath here to experience the sensations of chi or energy in the front of the body. And we're going to come into our extended child's pose position next. So bring the knees a little bit wider than hip width distance apart and come to sit down on the heels, stretching the arms out in front of you, perhaps placing a block or prop under the forehead if it doesn't quite reach the mat. Feeling compression here in the hips, and also a mild stretch in the inner thighs, and stretching out the lower back into the shoulders. Taking 3 rounds of breath here. pushing into the palms and the fingers, start to slowly walk the hands back towards the body, straightening the spine, lifting the head up. And we're going to come into deer pose next, so come to sit down on the bum, bringing the left shin parallel to the top of the mat and bringing the right shin so it's parallel to the side of the mat behind the left one, and start to walk the hands backwards until you feel a stretch in the front of the right hip and the front of the right thigh. You might be able to come down onto your elbows and drop the head back, or alternatively come all the way down onto your back. And we want to breathe deeply into the front of this right hip and right thigh. We don't want to feel any pain in the knees or in the lower back, so reduce the bend in that right knee if it's starting to be a bit painful. And you can also place some props like bolsters underneath the back for extra support and comfort. Begin to push into the elbows, coming back up onto the hands and straighten the spine. And we're just going to switch the position of the legs now, coming into deer on the right side. So bringing the right shin parallel to the top of the mat and the left shin parallel to the side of the mat. Walking backwards onto the hands or coming down onto the elbows or all the way down onto your back. Again, props can be placed here underneath the back or underneath the knees. If, for example, the right knee begins to lift slightly off the mat, you might want to place a block underneath it. We can also place blocks underneath the forearms. Remembering that your body will naturally open up as we hold still in the pose, so allow it to do so, and you can always deepen and play about with the position of the body as it opens up. And drop the chin back towards the chest, push into the forearms, elbows and hands to lift yourself back up. And you can come down to lie on your back in Shavasana, or you can come through to a comfortable seat for a brief moment of meditation, closing down the eyes and just allowing yourself to integrate the nutrients of your practice today. This is your time. You are so worthy of it, so please take it for yourself. Just for a few more moments here, resting your attention on the breath. And start to guide your awareness back towards your body now. Taking some deeper breaths and slowly open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me today, yogis. It's been a deep honour to guide you through this yin style practice. And remember, if you're looking for days 4 to 7 of the class, you can find them on the link at the end of this video at ko-fi.com/true-to-myself yoga. I hope to see you again soon. Have the best day.